With all that's been going on with AI lately, I thought I'd ask ChatGPT a personal finance question since, well, that's what I usually cover on my channel. So I plan on asking ChatGPT the following. I'm struggling with credit card debt, how can I clear my debt? And a good answer would cover the following points: budgeting, cutting down on unnecessary expenditure, paying credit card with the highest interest rate first, consolidating debt into a lower interest credit card through balance transfer, or calling the credit card company and negotiating a repayment plan which would include freezing the interest, for example. Now, in short, that's what a good answer would cover. So how did ChatGPT do? Well, let's see. I'm using the free ChatGPT version 3.5 here, which is meant to be inferior to GPT-4 in terms of reasoning and conciseness, but faster nevertheless. As you can see, GPT responds very quickly to the question, and the answer was straight to the point and covered pretty much every point I mentioned earlier. Now, let's see how ChatGPT-4 does, as it's supposed to be smarter and more concise than the version we just saw, although slower. As expected, the response was noticeably quite slower. But notice how it elaborates a bit on each point, and all this extra padding makes me wonder whether that was actually more concise or quite the opposite really. The other thing is that while GPT 3.5 came up with 7 bullet points, GPT-4 came up with 8 bullet points. But if you thought that was better, you'd be wrong, because some of the points are not exactly relevant to the question. For example, on bullet point number 7, if you're in trouble with debt and asking how you can clear it, telling you to keep an emergency fund is wise advice in general, but does not help the person here. Similarly, point number 8 about developing healthy habits is good advice for the future, but doesn't quite help right now. But more importantly, it missed out on one pretty important advice: to call the credit card company and negotiate repayment deal. So surprisingly, I think ChatGPT 3.5 was more concise and faster than GPT-4. But given the responses vary, I thought I'd ask GPT-4 the same question again to give it a chance to redeem itself. And that it did, with 10 points this time. Again, some of them not strictly relevant, but at least this time it got them all. So all in all, I think ChatGPT gave a pretty good answer and was quite helpful, and you can probe even further on each of his points to give more context for more specific answers. Overall, that was decent advice which could be useful for someone with limited knowledge on the topic. However, that was a bit easy. Next time, let's try to ask it something tougher. But for now, that's it from me. If you enjoyed this short video, remember to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching and see you next time.